All right, Schlockmeister fans, Ursula Andress and Jack Palance. It's The Sensuous Nurse, an old cable movie. Let's check it out. This is Leonida, the old man. He's sick.
Why does it hurt you? Who got him up here?
He came up by himself. He knows the way.
He's got a bad heart.
See, he felt sick at Aunties too and came up here looking.
He's also very wealthy.
For God's sake, tell us something.
I'm sorry, unfortunately there's not much to say. It'll be a miracle if he lasts through the night.
Isn't there anything we can do?
Pray.
Anyway, he's owns this wine business.
Your fiance?
No.
And down in the bowels of this wine company, this other guy's making this girl strip for wine. There's the man, Jack Palance himself. He's come to do some business with Leonida's company. But with the old man near death, what now?
You're saying he isn't dead?
Oh, he is, for all intents and purposes.
And until he's dead, they can't do the big deal.
It's only a matter of an hour at most. The battle's over. A second attack would be fatal. Fatal, yes, fatal. It's a Damocles sword over our heads. I would have
So if he has another heart attack, he's going to die, and the family kind of wants him to die at this point. So one of the guys, family members, goes to hire a nurse, a sexy nurse, in the hopes that the old man will get riled up, have a heart attack, and die. Ursula Andress.
Uncle, it's all yours.
You're all private nurse, Dad. Look at her, Uncle.
Meanwhile, this woman gets mad and takes all her clothes off.
No.
This is what you always wanted.
Be reasonable. You're not a whore, honest. You're not a whore.
You're lying, Benito.
Well, upset as she may have been, she calms down real quick when the guy gets tender. Meanwhile, Ursula Andress goes skinny dipping, and the youngest member of the household spying on her. Meanwhile, Jack Palance is massaging a naked woman,
You see, I'm a patient man.
upset that the deal hasn't happened yet.
Not forever.
I quite understand, but you have my personal assurance. It's only a question of hours or days. And maybe our plan will work.
The military mind has spoken.
The entire family's behind this
Uncle
plan.
has to get better, so it can get worse.
Oh, yes? Who said that?
Benito.
How'd you expect sense from a moron?
The old man seems to be improving a little bit.
Well, sir, we are feeling better, aren't we?
He's demonstrating for the nurse how exactly she should tease the old man.
Read, thermometer.
The nurse being Anna, of course. Well, they were about to do it, and then they heard something. It turns out Adonis, the young guy, overheard them talking about their plan. He went out to buy batteries for her. So now he's like sick and delirious.
Pussy. Adonis, pull yourself together. Pussy!
So Anna wants to cancel the plans now.
Let's stop the whole thing. I'm scared.
Are you crazy? You want to stop now and blow the whole deal with Kitch after all the trouble I've gone through?
Oh, you saw me with Benito, so what? I can understand that at your age, life is more poetry than reality.
They're trying to find out what he may have seen or heard.
Now look, if he does know something, we'll just deny everything, and you can go back to your Google Docs.
That you can count on. I'll be on the first trip.
And now she's going to try to seduce him. She has a nice full frontal nudity in here, which unfortunately I can't show you. He eventually gives in to her, though. He was fighting it at first, but can you blame him?
I hate you.
He doesn't know a thing.
She's lying, of course.
It was all jealousy.
Oh, good girl. So we're in business again.
The old man is outside. Everybody thinks there's something dirty going on there, but nope. Just washing his shoes. So he's improving.
An expression
They pay
of
her.
gratitude for having taken such very good care of our uncle. You've earned it.
I can't. I didn't do anything to deserve it.
I couldn't agree more.
Please, Italia, will.
I realize
What
that
the family doesn't know,
I'm
Anna
not
knows,
cut
I
out
think.
for murder.
She's refusing to be in this murder plot, and everything's being recorded for Adonis and the old man to listen in. The old man kicks everybody out of the house then.
Leave it, Lee. Get out!
Please come.
Phil!
Remember what the
Murder!
doctor said. You
Please!
must come.
Please get out.
112.
Believe it or not, Anna and the old man then got married.
Thank you. What is this? Did I get married or check into a hospital?
You just married your nurse.
But she won't sleep with him because of his bad heart.
Remember what your heart. Remember what the doctor said.
I'd like to see what he'd do.
Relax, darling, relax. We'll have fun together when you are well again. This
But he can't control
think
himself.
of your poor arteries. Your heart.
Pussy! Oh, pussy!
So yep, he gives in, sleeps with her, and we cut away to the last scene in the movie. It killed him.
That's right.
Alright, let's talk about The Sensuous Nurse. This is a movie that showed up on cable in the mid to late 80s. I don't know if I ever watched it entirely, or maybe I did. I know I saw some parts of it, probably some parts of it multiple times. Maybe over time I saw the whole thing, who knows. But anyway, I taped this, I think I taped it off of cable about 1989 or so. Maybe I rented it and copied it, I don't know. But stars Ursula Andress. Now, she is hired as a nurse. She is a nurse, and she's hired to be like the stay-at-home, in-the-house nurse for this old man named Leonid, who owns this like wine company or something like that. Well, Leonid had a heart attack recently. He's kind of a sex-obsessed guy, and the doctor says if you have another heart attack, you're going to die. Well, the family wants him to die so they can do this big deal with Jack Palance. So they hire Anna, the nurse, to basically tease him, get him excited, and hopefully that his heart rate will go up, he'll have a heart attack, and keel over and die. That's the whole plan. So she goes along with it. She wears skimpy outfits, cleavage. She does skinny dipping. She's just a kind of a big tease. But eventually she gets a change of heart after this younger guy in the house, Adonis is his name. He kind of has a thing for her, actually, watches her skinny dip and such. They think that he overheard her and another guy talking about the plan. So she decides that she should cancel the whole thing. Nonetheless, the family doesn't want her to do that, so she goes and talks to Adonis, teases him, gets naked in front of him, and finds out what he knows. And it turns out he did overhear them. At this point, though, she decides to have a complete change of heart. She tells the family that he doesn't know anything. They're back in business. And later on, they try to pay her off, give her a check, even though the guy's still alive. And then she spills the whole plan and says everything. She does this out loud, though, so Leonid, the old man, and Adonis are listening on a listening device to hear the whole thing. Leonid gets upset, kicks everybody else out of the house except Adonis and Anna, of course. And then he goes off and marries Anna. So the two are married, but they don't consummate their marriage because Anna knows he has a bad heart. And if he has a heart attack while they're having sex, it's going to kill him. So, nonetheless, eventually Leonid gives in. He can't stand anymore because she's walking around in skimpy outfits. Her boobs are hanging out, and he goes crazy, jumps on top of her, and he's screaming, "Pussy, pussy!" And then the last scene is after he's screaming pussy, they show his crypt. Apparently he died from having sex, and I guess Anna inherited everything. So there you go. Yeah, there you go. It's The Sensuous Nurse. Now, I think this is available on a couple different versions. However, this is a really good one put out by No Shame Films. Digitally remastered from the original Vault Negatives, and it looks pretty good, darn good for a movie like this. This is essentially a titty movie from the 70s. 76, I think this came out. I think it's Italian made, But it actually has a pretty well done cast, and they do a good job based on considering the material here. They did a really good job. Ursula Andress was actually a real mainstream actress. She was in Dr. No, of course, the first James Bond movie. In fact, I think that was her very first movie. She was kind of a bombshell starlet type over the 60s and 70s. She actually took off her clothes a lot, actually, for film and pictorials and such. And she has several full frontal nude scenes in here, too. This is probably some of her best on-screen nudity you'll find. So if you're looking for that, this is the one you want to get. This is the DVD version you want to, the one by No Shame. That looks great. There's a few extras on here, actually, calling the nurse, interviews with the director and costume designer. Some trailers. This is in Italian and English, and I think there's subtitles too in those languages if you want. So, but yeah, that's it. So, for what it is, like I said, a decent movie. Widescreen looks very good on this. Much better than a movie like this should ever look. But thank you, No Shame, for putting this out. I highly encourage people to go out and buy this movie. It's a good one. Great celebrity nudity too. So check it out. Leave some comments. It's The Sensuous Nurse. Oh, I forgot to mention Jack Palance is in this too. It's funny. There's this scene. He only has 2 brief scenes, but there's one where he's sitting there talking on the phone in this gruff Jack Palance voice about how the deal hasn't gone down yet. And he's sitting there just caressing this naked woman, flips her over, touches her breast, her nipples and things. It's just an odd scene. It's like, that's Jack Palance fingering somebody's nipples. Power to him. Good man. Anyway, check it out. Sensuous Nurse. Leave some comments. Watch it. Bye.